Hey everybody, welcome to a session on how to learn to play by ear. This is an awesome tool that'll change the way you play. It'll get rid of that music stand really quickly, and yeah, it'll just make you a better musician overall. You'll be able to pick up tunes just by listening to them on the radio. You'll be able to play along with things just a lot faster. So this is an awesome tool. So in a few short lessons, and if you do some of these activities and kind of homework assignments, I think you'll pick this up pretty quickly. So let's get started. Most of us are familiar with chords in the key of G. So we have the key of G, we have the G chord. The other popular chords are C, we have the C chord, we have the D chord, and we have the E minor chord. Those are probably the first couple chords that you learn playing guitar, and you'll notice that we use them a lot in praise courses, so even piano players and other players, these chords are pretty popular. So we have G, C, D, and E minor. Occasionally we have the A minor, and sometimes we'll have that G/B. We'll get into that much later, but let's just focus on those first four chords. We're going to attach some numbers to these chords, and we're going to explain how to do that. So instead of calling the chord by the letter, instead of calling it a G, we're going to call it by a number. So the way that works is you find the key that you are in. So in this case, we are in the key of G, and so G is going to get number 1. Okay, so G gets number 1. If we would change keys to a different key, let's say we would go to the key of B flat, then B flat would get the number 1. Whatever key you're in, that gets the number 1. So we're in the key of G though. Let's go back to the key of G. So G is our number 1. So let's go ahead and write out the other letters that go in the key of G. So musically speaking, we just follow the alphabet, but once we get to G, we start over. That's how music works. But we start with G. So we have G, then we have A, then B, then C, D, E, F of some kind, and G. Now that didn't quite sound right because F is supposed to be sharp. F sharp, and then G. So in this case, F is sharp. But otherwise, we count all the letters in that thing. So we have G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and in this case, we have F sharp, okay? So if G is 1, then the next letter, which happens to be A, so we have G, the next letter A is going to be 2, and so on and so forth. So B is going to be 3, C is going to be 4, D will be 5, E will be 6, 7 will be our F sharp, and then we're back to 8, which is G again, okay? And we don't usually use the number 8, we'll just call it 1 again because we're back to G again, so G is 1. Okay, so the most common numbers that we use in songs is the 1, G, the 4 chord, C, the 5 chord, which is D, and the 6 chord, which is E minor. Aha. Okay, so we have 1, 4, 5, and 6. And almost every song under the pop music sun has these same 4 numbers. Okay, same 4 numbers. It has 1, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, if you don't believe me, go ahead and check out your chord sheets for everything in the key of G, and you will find that almost every song has G, C, D, and E minor, and it probably will throw in a few other chords, but most of the chords will be those 4 chords all over that. Let's do another song to show you that this actually works. Okay, let's pick a different key. Let's do the key of B flat. We mentioned that earlier, B flat. So if we go in the key of B flat, our numbers are going to change. So B flat is now 1, okay? Next step we do, if you want to write this out on the piece of paper or we'll look at the screen, we got B flat, then we just go alphabetically. B, C is 2, D is 3, some kind of E is 4, 5 is F, 6 is G, 7 is A, and 8, we're back to B flat, okay? So in this key, we happen to have an A flat, and we happen to have an E flat. So when you get to the E, it's going to be E flat. When you get to the A, it's A flat. But let's find our most popular numbers in this key. So B flat is 1. The other popular number is 4. What's the 4 chord? E flat. What's the 5 chord? The 5 chord is going to be F. And the 6 chord is going to be G, and it also happens to be minor. Did you notice there's a theme going on here? Every time we play a 6 chord, it's going to be minor. So whatever key you're in, whenever you get to a 6, that 6th chord is always minor. So that's another cool thing that you can start to pick up. You'll start to notice that these numbers reappear, and also the 1 and the 4 and the 5, they're all major chords, and that 6th chord is a minor chord. So for your assignment for this first lesson, I just want you to go and number a bunch of your songs. See if you can do the keys that we just talked about. We did the key of G and we did the key of B flat, but maybe you want to challenge yourself to do other keys like D. I know we have a lot of songs in D, or A, or C, or F. There's a couple of those keys that we do a lot of. But you'll see the key written at the top of every chord sheet. And so start there. When you see the key, that's where you start your numbers. So go ahead and number them, and then you'll see, I bet you'll see a theme developing that you'll see 1, 4, 5, and 6 repeated throughout a bunch of the songs. So that's your first assignment, is to just get used to these numbers and to see them in your music and be able to identify them. So that's your assignment. Go through a couple songs, find the numbers and write them, maybe even write them next to the letters. You want to write the numbers next to them and try playing through it, thinking through with this number concept. So that's lesson 1 of learning to play by ear. Awesome.